Absolute Green Lantern issue 10, Al Ewing writing with SID KOTIAN on the art, or maybe Kotian, but I'm going to go with my gut and say Koshin as my pronunciation, but I could be wrong. So yeah, this is another, much like the Absolute Batman Arkham book, this is another artist I don't think I've ever heard of, so I had no idea what to expect from the art going out of this. But so this issue teases a couple of things that they're doing with Todd Rice, but we'll come back to that because they do like a sort of fallout of it at the end. It kind of bookends the book. But when we get into the main story, it goes obviously back to the cliffhanger that Goldface here has just shot Joe in the apartment, and we pick up there. And I liked all of this. I thought his intimidating demeanor, the way he's like talking to her and saying, you know, I don't actually want to kill you. I actually would like you to survive. But Jo is like fighting for her life the entire time. You know, she can't use her powers because of all the gold bullets in her blood, which leads to her like pulling out the bullets by hand with some pliers, you know, in a few pages time, which is pretty badass. But she actually gets away from him by not using her powers, just by punching him as hard as she can in the dick. And I thought it was really interesting that he gets worried and thinks, oh my god, there's blood, what did you do to me, what did you do to me? And I'm like, it's her blood, you dipshit. She didn't punch you so hard that your dick exploded.
Oh my god, him punching. I thought she twisted it off. Because there's blood there. And he's like, it's not my blood. Oh, what'd you do? Because when he goes, there's blood. What did you do? What did you? I was like, oh my god, Ewing's going for it. Like, Joe's a survivor. And then, yeah,
Joe,
and that's just her way to get out.
Joe the Dick Ripper Mullen.
That's right. It's the one time where that meme can be brought back, the old dick twist.
Oh, dear.
You know, so... But yeah, I really like Goldface. This is my first like interaction with Goldface, even in the Green Lantern mainstream stuff. I like this version a lot because there's this intimidation factor until he gets punched in the balls, and then everyone's the same, right? Like,
that's all it took. Well, I like that. I like that she kind of musters up enough like Green Lantern, because she crawls to the kitchen, right, and she's a big trail of blood. She gets in there and he comes after her, but she's able to like muster enough energy despite the gold bullets just to like kind of like melt the handle and the lock on the door to fuse it with the frame so that the door won't open. So he's like he has to sort of try and kick it in, but that's what gives her time to grab like the pliers. She goes looking in the drawer and she finds pliers and she goes just basically just hoping to get the bullets out. And you know, we get her like flashing back to these pivotal moments of like Cameron being mad at her and just some other pivotal memories. And I love just how red that page gets, where the bullet, like the one bullet's already out and then she pulls the second one out, and how the entire gutters are that same color as the blood in the bottom panel, so it just feels like we're surrounded by blood by that point. It feels quite gnarly. So yeah. But by that point, she's taken the bullets out, she's back at full power, she's healed up, and she's floating in the air, and she's like all ready. And her hair's all sort of sticking up, so she almost looks like a Medusa type figure with all the hair kind of out like that.
Absolutely. And the way that she's floating the needle nose pliers next to her too, she does almost look like a Greek statue of like a goddess.
Yeah, and, you know, and he's like, hey, your powers can't affect me because I'm gold. That's why I'm dressed in gold and painted gold. You can't do anything to me. And she's like, yeah, that's true, but I can use my powers to move these pliers. And she just throws the pliers with the power at his eye and impales his eye with the... And it seems like he's dead to me. Maybe he's not, but he looks pretty dead.
He'll wish he was. The way that she says, dig the gold out of that, I was like, yeah.
I wonder, there's something so like simple about a Green Lantern, because obviously here we're saying gold like doesn't work versus yellow as the old Green Lantern mythos, right? I love the idea of a Green Lantern being like, all right, fine, I'll just pick up this knife and stab you then, the old-fashioned way.
All right, I don't gotta use a construct to make you bleed, you know?
I mean, sure, you can dodge my Green Lantern energy, but you can't dodge a wrench. Or a ball.
Dodge a wrench, dodge a ball, right?
Yeah,
the old rule. So,
that's the old rule.
Yeah.
So, and then things just fall, like, this is all like sort of told sequentially, where immediately Simon and oh god, what's the lady he's with, his partner?
Let me pull this up. on there.
But she, they come out of the apartment and they're like, "Oh God, where's?" Because they're looking for Cameron. They're like, "Where's Cameron? Where's Cameron?" And they see Hal Jordan lying there, and they get worried and they think something's wrong. So there's a bit of a confrontation here where he pulls his gun on Joe, and then Joe like makes him go flying back into the wall. And I actually really liked that the partner's like, "Hey, no, Baz, don't provoke her." And then he goes flying into the wall, and she's like, "I literally saw that coming." Like, it's my power set. I literally saw that coming. I told you not to.
It's Agent Limbo.
Agent Limbo. Thank you. I was never going to remember that.
No.
So yeah, so they're like, she's like, "Damn it, where's Chase? Damn it, you broke her heart and you've been in this mess. Like, why the hell? You know, what's going on?" And then Chase just walks in casually and is like, "What the hell happened to my apartment?" And you know, that's obviously when some stuff's explained between panels, and they're all standing over Goldface's like head, and yeah, he's definitely dead. There's no way he's alive.
No, there's a blood coming out through the back. So yeah.
So no, So I like this issue a lot because one, the suspense of like the attack and like Joe getting away and trying to figure out a way out of it was really good just from a suspense point of view. But I also like how badass it made her look because she was able to pull bullets out with some pliers and then, gave him what for and like he had the element of surprise before, and she does tell the others like he looked like John Stewart, like he completely changed his appearance and he was doing the fake voice and all the rest of it. Like he was convincing. But they basically trace it back to Hector Hammond. In fact, I think it's Chase. It's because so they have Agent Limbo. She looks into his head right with her powers and sees what she can find. And she says, "Hey, that guy's real name is Keith Kenyon, and he worked for a man named Hammond, Hector Hammond." And then Chase immediately drops the "I'm a badass" look and says, "Shit, we have to go right now." So that name provokes fear in Chase. So she knows the type of like person they're dealing with, where the rest of them are all just kind of like, "Who's that?" So I like that because Chase just walks in and acts like so cool all the time because that's her demeanor. The idea that she drops that and looks like she's shitting a brick, I think sells the idea. And then obviously that leads us straight into the bookend scene, which is that Hammond is doing these tests where he's just pumping all of this dark energy from all the stuff that corrupted Hal Jordan originally. He's just pumping that into Todd Rice and like drowning him in it to see what happens. And the ending where the scientist is like, "Hey, the results aren't good. Like, yeah, we've completely surrounded him in this obsidian material, but like there's no readings from him. It's like there's no humanity in there. But we can't get to him though because this obsidian shell's like completely indestructible or whatever." And he's like, "Oh, that's great news. You think I care about the humanity?" And then the final page is this big monstrous, black crystal kind of cocoon that apparently Todd Rice is surrounded by. So I think it's kind of interesting.
Out of that thing, I think container he was in. It's
interesting to me that we're doing Todd Rice stuff. I know they set him up previously in the town, like we did mention him before, but I think it's kind of cool that we're actually incorporating like the son of Alan Scott. Not that he's the son of Alan Scott in this world necessarily, but the idea that we're incorporating those branches of Green Lantern mythos into this here.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. So. I think he was right because he talked about his dad, and we saw the Alan Scott stuff.
Oh, maybe he was
in Evergreen.
Yeah, fair enough. I just forgot that.
I like how it opens where it looks like those pages of Oa that we've been used to, and then it's revealed to be him looking up from the bottom of this well.
Yeah, it's the old ball. It's not even like it's like a tank that they've got him in because they're going to pump stuff in. It's very the ring. It's very like looking up at the top of the light ring coming in the entrance. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And it talks about how he must be without fear entirely with that, and then that's when it pulls up and you're like, "Oh man, they're doing experiments. That is not good." A lot of cool stuff in this one.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I think this book has only gotten better now that we're settled into more kind of like, because the mystery was fun for that first arc, but I think now that we're in kind of like we're actually progressing the story forward a bit more, we can develop the characters better. I think Chase has been a cool addition. Like I say, I think the suspense of this one was really well played out, and then everything they're doing with Hammond's fun as well. I think it's just like clicking in a way that it was clicking in a different way before, but now it feels like it's clicking as an ongoing comic book in a much bigger sense.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think I'm not saying the art here was amazing, but I think it was pretty solid, all things considered.
There are certain pages I'm not a big fan of. of it, and that's fine. It comes down to taste. Like some of the chase stuff towards the end, I think the faces look a little bit wonky. But all the big actiony things really are real. Like her looking like Medusa, floating above with the pliers hovering, all that stuff. All the stuff with Goldface looks great.
Yeah,
so I'm not gonna kill it.
It's showing kind of like, you know, like all the expressions really well, where he's like in pain or mad that he just got kicked in the nuts or, you know, whatever. Like it's doing all that stuff. I kind of agree. Like Chase, I mean, it's not even like all the stuff in general. I think everyone else's face is fine. I think Chase, for whatever reason, he's went just a little bit too I don't know, like stereotypical hot blonde, I guess, for the way he's drawn her with the big lips and stuff.
It's almost like a caricature of a hot blonde.
Whereas I think the others, like I think, you know, Simon looks fine. I think Joe looks fine. I think Limbo, I think she looks. I think her with her streak actually with the sunglasses does look quite good, to be honest. Yeah,
even the people with Hector Hammond look fine. Like Hammond looks so sleazy. Like that is done so well.
So what we're really just saying here is that his face for Chase is maybe a little bit too much, but otherwise, I liked everything else it was doing art wise. So, yeah, what are you giving Absolute Green Lantern, Matt?
I'm gonna give this an 8.5.
You know, honestly, I think that's where I'm at. So we both agreed on that.